Hello there.
Hello there.
Fortnite and Star Wars have a crossover in-game for the next 3 weeks. With tons of new abilities, it's time to jump back in and bust some myths. Like this one. Is it possible to use the Force on those harmless sky jellies that float around the island? Well, here we go. And... Okay, I was not expecting that. Myth confirmed. We can yeet sky jellies. They go so far, they despawn. Can a lightsaber block the Attack on Titan Thunder Spear attack? Let's try it. And hell yes it can. It stops it mid-air, as long as you get away from the blast radius as quickly as possible. Myth confirmed. Each of these 3 lightsabers relates to 3 different abilities, but which sword and which training makes you quicker? I lined up 3 of my loser friends and asked them to run on my command. On both occasions, all 3 versions were identical. No one has the advantage in this, they're all the same. When we visit one of the Jedi and Sith icons on the map, we are rifted away to learn the basics of the Force. Is it possible for another person to run through that open rift when a player activates it? We all lined up ready, and the moment it opened, we sprinted. And no, every time we are struck back, bounced back, myth busted. And for some reason, this glitch happened. Look at this monstrosity.
My name is Jeff.
We did manage to get to the rift, but it's not possible to use. Double busted. It's impossible to eliminate someone when they are travelling through the Force rift. An easy one, I got helping for this one. This is my firing squad. As soon as he ventured into the void, we fired. It's a total no. The player is completely immune the moment they activate the final text prompt, and for good measure they were shot on the way out, and surprisingly the immune period is longer than I thought, but ultimately it does run out. What about if we stick them with the spear attack before they venture in? Because there's a timer before that explodes. Well, it's still a no, totally immune during the entire animation. So, myth confirmed. Myth, we can use a Sith Force Throw ability to weaponize vehicles around us. This is too good to be true. I got a couple of cars in front, I'm aiming for that tower there, let's do this. Oh wow, which means you could likely do way over 300 damage in just one shot of this, depending on your aim. So all 3 abilities can move vehicles, but can we propel ourselves with the Force by standing on a vehicle? I first tried this by standing on the back seats of this type of vehicle, and sadly Force abilities do absolutely nothing. But that's not the end. By precariously standing on the roof or the back but not actually in the vehicle, small movements are possible, but they don't seem very controllable and don't go very far. And there's a chance the car you're using will totally despawn like this. Weird. Yet, if everything is set up correctly with Force Push, you can do this. Yeah, I was in a lobby all alone and I still died first. Myth confirmed though. Can we block a kinetic blade with a lightsaber? We sure can, and 7 of them in fact, before our block is broken. So if we can block the kinetic blade, we can block the kinetic ore, right? Well, let's see. And nope, myth busted, we cannot block fast-moving purple ore with a neon glowing stick. I took 150 damage. Can fall damage be negated by a second jump that we get from holding a lightsaber? Easy test, and yes, a well-timed second jump prevents fall damage. But what about a badly timed second jump? For this one I double jumped so high in the air that I must take fall damage. But no, I was totally fine. Myth confirmed. Any kind of double jump with a saber from any height prevents fall damage. But what if we are high up and don't have a lightsaber to rely on? Can a teammate on the ground use the Force to protect them from fall damage? Up first is Anakin's pull ability. It works, and you've got to admit this looks pretty damn awesome. Next up is Obi-Wan's push ability to save a friend. This one is much less epic, but much more reliable, so myth confirmed. It's slightly more epic from the perspective of the person being saved. We also tried the Force Throw, and yeah, that's not really gonna save anyone anytime soon, so that one's technically myth busted. Can a lightsaber block a direct headshot from a heavy sniper? And not what I expected. Myth confirmed. But what about a second bullet? The second one breaks the stance, which means if you fire 3 times quickly, you'll obliterate them. So, myth confirmed, a lightsaber can block 2 heavy snipes consecutively. Is it possible to hide inside one of the character holograms? I had high hopes for this idea to hide in plain sight as someone comes to claim a sword. But look at this, the holograms are way taller than any of our loopers, and even wearing the right skin just doesn't line up. I don't think anyone's falling for this, but you never know. Anyway, myth busted. As we all know, Midas can change any weapon he holds into gold. In a Myth Chaser video last year, we could even turn Vader's saber gold. Let's see what happens this time around. Yikes, no, not anymore. Midas has lost that ability. How about the new Mythic Blaster instead? And it's another fail, sadly. Midas no longer changes Mythics into gold. It's just standard weapons. Speaking of gold, do you still collect those crowns for winning each game? Here's the myth. Can we move winning crowns using our abilities? Maybe to force pull it closer to you so you can get it before a friend takes it. Well, don't give it much thought because it doesn't work. Totally a shame. Myth busted. But wait, let's turn that frown upside down. Can we move a reboot card using the Force? Check it out, yeah, a new way to troll your friends. Or maybe you're a good guy and you push the card to safety or pull it towards you to save a few seconds. Anyway, myth confirmed, we can move reboot cards. Here's another myth, can we throw gas canisters with the Force? First up is Force Throw, and to my surprise, it actually ignites the gas canister, so when it's thrown, it becomes a perfect video game bomb. And I also tried this with Force Pull, and yes, it ignites the fuel, and kaboom. So could we do that when stood on top of it? Well, sadly, this is another busted myth. The canister will not move with Penny's fat butt on it, so you'd need a teammate to make this work. Myth busted. Myth, the shield bubble is completely impenetrable to any of the Force abilities. Quick one to test, here's the bubble, can we get the person inside? And no, not with the Force Throw ability, but look how easy it is to get them outside of the bubble with both Force Pull and Force Push. So we gotta say, myth busted. Oh, quick thought, is it possible to hit ourselves with Force Throw? For this one, I stared at the sky and tried to hit myself with the rocks that came crashing back down to Earth. I thought it was a good idea, but no friendly fire here. Myth busted. Myth, is it possible to redirect something which has been force thrown at you? This would be totally useful for that time the ore hit me earlier. To set this one up, we used a car and gave one player the high ground. Could they redirect the vehicle? And to my surprise, yes, and easily yes. So this got me thinking. If you've watched my myth videos in the past, you know I quite like setting the world random ridiculous world records. From stacking upgrade benches to making trucks fly with a saw blade. And here's a new one. How many times can we juggle a vehicle without it hitting the floor using the Force? Go on, have a guess. The setup was to slightly lift a car off the ground and then simply force push it as vertically as possible. It was tense, and in the end, we managed 10 keepy uppies before the storm interrupted us. So I challenge you, can you break my ridiculous world record? It's good to be back playing Fortnite again, thanks to you if you've used code ADAMARU whilst I was away feeling sorry for myself, but I'm back now, and I'm slowly going through my messages and thanking people personally, like these guys here. Thank you for that. It's been a pleasure. Hopefully this was fun. See you next time.